Every time you say just 5 more minutes, you're not making a small choice. You're signing a contract with the version of you that stays stuck. And the worst part is that laziness never looks dangerous. It looks reasonable. It sounds polite. It whispers, "You deserve a break." But what it really steals is your future. Today you'll learn 7 Stoic habits to defeat laziness without relying on motivation, without waiting for the perfect mood, and without turning your life into a stressful war. These are not productivity hacks. They're principles that build a mind like a fortress and a body like an ally. And there's one habit on this list that most people skip because it's uncomfortable. But it's the habit that quietly turns discipline into something automatic. Stay with me, because when you apply it tonight, tomorrow morning will feel different. Now let me ask you something uncomfortable. Why is it that we take care of everything and everyone, yet neglect the very foundation that carries it all? And what's the point of chasing external goals if inside you feel exhausted, scattered, and numb? The Stoics would answer with brutal clarity, if your inner state is weak, no outer victory can hold. A distracted mind and a fragile body will eventually sabotage any success. So the first step is not to try harder. The first step is to stop living like your energy is infinite. Epictetus taught that progress requires the courage to look foolish about things that don't matter, so you can focus on what does. In modern terms, stop feeding your attention to distractions that give nothing back. Discipline begins at the root, and the root is you. Habit 1. Treat self-care as duty, not luxury. Most people think self-care is a reward. The Stoic treats it as maintenance, like sharpening a blade before battle. Sleep, food, and mental hygiene are not extra. They're the invisible pillars of your will. Ask yourself, what good is a perfect plan on paper if you don't have the energy to live it? When your body is drained, every opportunity feels heavy. When your mind is foggy, even small tasks look like mountains. So make the basics non-negotiable. A consistent sleep schedule, simple meals that don't spike and crash your energy, clear boundaries with toxic environments, and endless scrolling. Seneca warned that life is shaped by our thoughts. Guarding the mind is as essential as guarding the body. Here's the rule. Every time you say yes to what doesn't matter, you say no to what sustains your core. That's why laziness often wins. Not because you're incapable, but because your foundation is leaking energy all day. Make a Stoic agreement with yourself. Before you try to save the world, strengthen your inner fortress. Your mind is a temple. Your body is armor. If they are cracked, no strategy will work. Habit 2. Build physical discipline to stabilize mental discipline. People want focus, clarity, and confidence while sitting all day, breathing shallowly, treating the body like a disposable tool. But you can't demand a steady mind from an untrained body. That's like asking a runner to win a marathon with broken shoes. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome, trained his body not for vanity, but for strategy. He understood something modern culture forgets. A weak body makes the mind vulnerable. A trained body strengthens patience, courage, and self-command. Training is not about aesthetics. It's a controlled arena where you practice overcoming resistance. Every time your legs want to stop and you take one more step, you're teaching your mind a language it will later speak in hard conversations, difficult projects, and days when motivation disappears. Keep it simple. Walk daily. Stretch. Do basic strength work, squats, push-ups, planks. Consistency beats intensity. The Stoic prefers a little every day over a lot for 1 week and then nothing. And don't ignore breathing. A calm, intentional breath can reset your nervous system in seconds. If you can control your breath, you can interrupt panic, anger, and that heavy, sluggish feeling that laziness loves. Epictetus recommended voluntary discomfort from time to time, not as suffering, but as proof. You can live with less comfort than your mind demands. A cold morning walk, a workout when it's inconvenient, a day without constant digital noise. These small choices build a quiet authority inside you. Habit 3. Practice self-observation in real time. The biggest battle is not against the world, it's against the impulses that rise inside you every hour. Without awareness, you become a puppet of mood and habit. With awareness, you become the commander. Self-observation means catching yourself in the moment, when irritation begins, when envy appears, when anxiety tightens your chest, when laziness starts negotiating. And instead of reacting automatically, you choose. Marcus Aurelius wrote daily to confront his own weaknesses because he knew the mind can deceive itself. If you refuse to see the cracks in your wall, the invasion is only a matter of time. This habit requires humility. It's uncomfortable to admit your patterns, but denial doesn't erase them. It feeds them. Try this simple pause during the day. What am I feeling right now? Is this emotion guiding me or confusing me? That single question creates space, and in that space, you regain freedom. Epictetus said, people are not enslaved by insults, desires, or events unless they choose to be. Self-observation is how you keep that choice in your hands. Habit 4. Turn persistence into a system, not a mood. Noticing your flaws isn't enough. You must keep walking. Most people quit when they finally see how steep the mountain is. The Stoic expects the climb. Persistence isn't sprinting non-stop, it's standing up every time you fall. Life will test you with delays, failures, conflict, and fatigue. Without persistence, every obstacle becomes an excuse. With persistence, every obstacle becomes training. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the obstacle becomes the way. What blocks the path becomes the path. In practical terms, the very friction you want to avoid is the material that builds your strength. Think like a blacksmith. Metal is shaped by repeated strikes. Stop halfway, and you get nothing useful. The same is true for your character. Make it concrete. Choose one small daily commitment and do it no matter your mood. 1 page of reading. 10 minutes of walking. 15 minutes of focused work. Clean one small area. The size matters less than the pattern. I act because I decided, not because I feel like it. Now here's a quick moment for you and me. If this is already challenging your mindset, subscribe to Stoic Spring. You're not just collecting information, you're building the habit of protecting your inner peace and growing in maturity day by day. And that habit changes your life. Habit 5. Stop negotiating. Execute the first step. Laziness is not loud. It doesn't threaten you, it whispers, later. And later is where dreams go to die. The Stoics didn't wait for inspiration. They knew motivation is unstable like the wind. Discipline, however, is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself in the morning that he was born to act, not to hide in comfort. That's not a harsh command. It's a wake-up call. Your life has purpose, and comfort is a poor master. Here's the brain rule. Every time you surrender to laziness, you train your brain to surrender faster next time. Every time you resist, even slightly, you train your brain to continue. So don't aim to feel motivated. Aim to start. The first step is the antidote to negotiation. When you hear the voice saying just 5 more minutes, do this instead. Sit up, feet on the floor, 1 deep breath, stand. No debate. Movement breaks the spell. When you face a task you're avoiding, reduce it to the smallest action. Open the document, write 1 sentence, wash 1 dish, put on the shoes, step outside. Laziness can argue against a big mission. It struggles to argue against 1 tiny action already in motion. And remember this, being alive today is a privilege. Many didn't open their eyes this morning. So when you complete a task, it's not just productivity, it's gratitude made visible. Habit 6. Structure your day like a strategist. If life is a battlefield, each morning requires preparation. Whoever leaves the day to chance lives like a soldier without a map, vulnerable to every distraction. Marcus Aurelius didn't surrender his hours to improvisation. He anticipated difficulty. He prepared his mind for annoying people, sudden problems, and hard decisions. That preparation is not pessimism. It's armor. Start your day intentionally. Don't open your eyes and immediately open your phone. That's like opening the gates of your fortress and letting strangers walk in. Instead, ask, what is essential today? If I do only 3 things, which ones move my life forward? That clarity becomes your compass. Then block your time. 1 task at a time, with full presence. Seneca warned that the person who is everywhere is nowhere. Multitasking isn't power, it's fragmentation. Protect a block for deep work, a block for communication, a block for body care, a block for rest. Treat these blocks like commitments, not suggestions, and plan for disruption. Epictetus advised expecting to meet obstacles and difficult people. When you anticipate friction, you stop acting shocked by reality. You adapt without losing your center. Add small checkpoints during the day. Am I advancing what matters or am I reacting? That question will save you from the common tragedy of reaching night exhausted, yet with nothing meaningful done. Now here's the cliffhanger. The final habit is the one that makes all the others stick. Without it, you'll keep repeating the same week forever, just with different excuses. With it, you start compounding progress immediately. Habit 7. End the day with a nightly review. Most people live on autopilot, repeating mistakes without noticing. The Stoics broke that cycle with a simple ritual. They reviewed the day. Seneca described examining his actions at night like an impartial judge, where he acted well, where he failed, and how he could improve. Not to punish himself, but to become conscious. Because if you don't recognize where you slipped, you'll slip again tomorrow. And if you don't recognize where you won, you'll believe nothing is working and quit. Make it simple. Before sleep, in silence, ask 4 questions. Did I live according to my values today? Where did I lose control? What did I do that moved me toward my goals? What will I do tomorrow to be better than today? On bad days, this reveals small victories you would miss. On good days, it shows what still needs refinement. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but that discomfort is where freedom lives. This nightly review is like sharpening the sword of your mind before returning to the battlefield of life. You go to sleep lighter, without dragging the day's confusion into tomorrow. You wake up clearer, because you already met yourself honestly. And now, a final challenge. Tonight, don't fall asleep with your phone in your hand. Turn off the noise. Sit for 2 minutes. Ask the questions. Be honest, not cruel. Honest. If this message helped you, do 3 things now. First, subscribe to Stoic Spring, because your life improves when you build the habit of guarding your inner peace and growing in maturity. Second, like the video, so this reaches more people who need this discipline. Third, comment below, I stopped negotiating with laziness. If you write that, I'll know you stayed until the end and that you're committed to your transformation. And before you go, choose one of the videos on your screen. It might not only change how you think, but how you lead your life.